Hate me that much, then I'd rather die. Ask me, nobody honest. Some people just tell better lies. Truthfully, I'm the better guy. Got this little light in me, but I feel like I never shine. Pray to God that I never die. Make the dumbest decisions, but I feel I'm forever wise.
Out here with another soul. Now the brother, he already said he ain't ready, but he still want to give us perspective on being homeless and being addicted to drugs. So what's your name, first of all?
Riot.
Speak up a little bit.
Riot.
Riot.
R-I-O-T.
Alright, we got Riot here. So you homeless?
Yeah.
And addicted to drugs? Alright, so what was some of the events that led you to being homeless?
So originally, as a child, when my father passed, having my mom's side, my dad's side always butting heads. My father had passed from a work-related accident when I was a child, and that gave my dad's side the mindset to believe that they had now reasoning to disown my mom's side, which included me as a child, me having nothing to do with that, unfortunately. So I don't know anything with them, and my mom's side was very small, and so they all had passed. That once my last family member from my mom's side passed, I ended up realizing I had no real friends, and I knew at that point I had nothing left for me in my hometown where I'm originally from. And being there was really unhealthy for me, so I left. Found a new place to try to start over, and things were going well. Coronavirus ended up hitting, and well, right before coronavirus had ended up hitting, I started finding things out with my dad's side and on my mom's side, and it started affecting me mentally to the point that I can no longer handle it, along with the things I was already dealing with prior, and that's where depression grew way out of hand, and I didn't know what else to do to be happy, and I wanted to just end things. Somebody who I thought was a friend got me started on opiates, and that was where I found the one thing that made me happy, and I, at least at that point, knew I had something. Even though I knew it was going to kill me slowly, I knew that it would at least keep me alive longer, having it in my life. And so then coronavirus finally came, and lost my job and went onto the streets. From that point, I just honestly, I might be strong enough, but maybe I'm just telling myself. Maybe I'm just telling myself that I'm really not strong enough to deal with those demons and those situations. I'm not strong enough to deal with them yet, and that might be what's keeping me on drugs. But drugs is playing a huge part on keeping me on the streets right now. I'm very self-aware of that.
You saying you wouldn't be alive if you wasn't doing drugs?
Yeah, because I didn't have anything. I didn't know what to do anymore to feel any type of happiness, and I just wanted. Suicide was the route that I was taking, and I was almost successful on multiple occasions. And once that person who I thought was a friend introduced me to opiates, that's what I found actually made me happy again. And if I was going to stay alive and not just continue to try to commit suicide, opiates was my choice to feel happy and not feel I needed to commit suicide.
Okay. So, can you elaborate on more how the drugs make you feel besides getting high? Do like give you power, or do you feel strong?
It makes me content. It makes me feel when I'm not high and I don't have the drugs in me, I feel like everything is just lost and gone. I feel it's pointless. I just don't want to be here. You know, I'm scared to live, I'm scared to die. I'm scared to face demons. But in the end, I feel the best route would be to just die, and rather than facing anything that I don't want to face. And the moment I put opiates in me, just it's a pleasure. It's a pleasuring feeling, and I feel again I feel content. I feel like those things are no longer a worry or a concern of mine. I feel at least some type of happiness that puts me at ease.
So let me ask you, if you could, 1 to 10 on a scale, what would you put your self-value that you have within yourself?
when I first became homeless, I would say my self-value would have been, if I had drugs, I'd get 8 or 9. Without drugs, 5. Right. But over time of being homeless and the way people treat homeless people,
No, but listen.
Well, hear me.
Just with yourself, though.
Yeah, I know.
Don't think about nobody else.
With myself. Yeah, with myself. The way that people treat me as a homeless person, I no longer feel like I'm a human, or I have even the ability to be allowed to think it's okay to feel like I'm human, or to be treated like I'm human. The feeling of believing that I'm no longer seen and I'm just invisible and all those things, and again, this all comes from just the course of over time of the way people have treated me when I've tried to ask for help and whatnot. Now, my self-worth, I know this isn't true, but I don't believe it to be true, that my self-worth is now nothing, and I don't deserve to be allowed to have self-worth.
Right, so I understand that you've been through a lot, and I'm sorry to hear that. I just want to, try to give you some motivation to encourage yourself some way, right? So we have to remember, right? Everybody has addictions, right? So one may be worse than the other, but they're all still addictions, right? Because too much of anything is bad, right? So what we have to do in the act of addiction, right? Even when we're not doing the drug, right? We're searching for it, so we're still in the act of it, right? So what we have to do is we have to provide ourselves with small goals to give us value, right? Because listen, if I come out here in this shirt for a year, right? If I wear the same shirt, same pants, this whole outfit for a whole year, mentally, you know what's gonna start to do to me? It's gonna make me feel less of value to myself, right? Yeah. If I can't go into a house of my own, maybe just take a shower and eat before I step out and go get my drug of choice, I'm gonna feel even more less value, right? Because now I can't even choose what I do in the morning with my time before I even get my drugs. So always remember this. It's not about what people think about you, and it's also not even what you think about yourself, right? Because thinking is one thing, but knowing is another, right? You know to yourself, I can see within you. You know to yourself, you're a great person. You've been through things, though, right? Maybe you did your fair share of dirt, everybody has, right? But you know that you're a great person. You know that you still have a chance to take hold of your life, but you don't know where to start at, right? So what is something that you could say that is something that you would like to do that you know you can easily get to, that's not hard for you to get to, besides the drugs? What is that you basically asking, what is it that you can do to help yourself out of the situation?
No.
Oh, that's
like
not what you're asking?
Like a goal. Like, if he said, man,
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, just something small, man.
You want my honest truth on that? I'd have to take time to look deep in myself to figure that one out.
Right.
I'd have to do that. I can't think of a goal off the top of my head.
Right,
So
that's understandable.
I truthfully can't give you an honest answer.
And look,
right
there's
now.
nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You know why? Because just a couple minutes ago, you thought to yourself. See, when we say think, we make infinite possibilities. We don't know if it's the truth or not, right? But our actions can counter all of that, right? Because just a few minutes ago, you were saying that, you feel like you don't have no value. But you said, that that's not true, right?
I just don't believe it to be true.
You just don't believe it to be true, and that's good. So now listen, if you would just say something like this to yourself: I might not have a place to call home, but every day I get up, I'm gonna work out. Just start there. I'm gonna work out. Because what is a workout? It's healthy, right? It's healthy for the body, right?
Healthy for
right?
the
It's a
mind,
good thing.
too.
It's healthy for the mind too, right? Just that small regimen. If you promise to yourself, every day I get up, I'm going to do 20 push-ups. You're doing what? You're doing something for yourself.
Right, and then you start from there on to something else, and little by little start with drugs. But what do you think the city can do to help drug addiction?
Wait, what you said? Start with drugs?
No, hey, but before you ask that, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, for what a man think he is, bro, I'm gonna keep it a bang with you, bro. Like, it's in the Bible. I don't know if you believe in the Bible,
I do.
but you do. For what a man think he is. So if you feel like you ain't worth nothing, that's what you're going to become. If you feel like you're a bum, that's what you're going to become. If you feel like you ain't going to be nothing more than a drug addict, that's what you're going to become. You're going to embody those thoughts. Those thoughts going, you know, become, it's going to become real life. Why? Because you bringing it into existence from what you think, for what a man think he is. Before you able to even do what he said, or to even acknowledge the question he asked, you got to believe it, like within yourself. Regardless of what we saying, we could like give you a little spark, but you gotta believe it, and in order for him to believe it, he gotta do something.
I never thought of it that way. I'm glad I heard you say that, because I never thought of it like that. That definitely gives me a mindset to think differently.
When was the last time you had a job?
Probably about 8 months ago.
8 months ago. Did you feel good working?
I worked at a restaurant. I hated it.
Right. But it felt good working for your money and having some money to be able to go do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right. So listen, and I tell every person that I talk to that's on drugs this, I tell every single person, if you want to get clean, the first thing you have to do is start with your mind, right? Your body is a whole nother thing, man, right? But your mind controls your what? Your body.
Controls
right?
everything.
You know what I mean? So if you could just take a step back and just say, I want to have money of my own that I work for. I don't got to come out here and sell nothing. I ain't got to steal nothing, none of that.
I've actually never robbed, stolen, boosted, or taken a day in my life.
And that's good. And that's good. That means you still have your morals, right? So what you want to do is this, brother. And this, I know it's hard and it sounds crazy, but this is the truth. The first step to get clean is to get some type of income of your own. Something that you have to put, even if it's a little bit of work in for. Because now...
Stop enabling. Enabling. Stop allowing. I get that they want to try to keep people clean from infection and stuff like that, but people are going to continue to get infection one way or the other, and they're giving all these supplies to continue to get, you know, like an over
yeah, I know
giving amount.
They're giving people clean needles.
Like they could give 5 rather than the 500.
Right.
Why does somebody need 500 every?
Right,
You know?
they give it, what,
that's
500?
just littering everything and making things more dangerous for other cities.
Yeah. So the city is giving supplies for people to get high.
Too much supplies.
Too much supplies for people to get high. So they can help by stopping enabling people.
Yeah, definitely less than the amount.
So
that's
what you think they could do to help the homeless? I mean, not the
hire people that actually care rather than people who are just working for a check.
There you go. Okay. There you go. Hire people that care, not people that just working for a check. You're right. You're right. And that's a fact.
More people will get off the streets. More people will see that they feel.
Hey, I got one last question for you. Yep. Okay. Just for me, if I gave you a house right now for you to live in 6 months, rent free, would you live in it?
Yes, absolutely.
See? You see what I'm saying? Right. See, we want the same things that other people have, but nobody is realizing that we need help to get it. Right. You understand? Yeah. So, like he said, don't hire people who just want a job for some fucking money. Hire people who actually want to help people.
The ones who actually care, want to see the progress, and want to see people who have no motivation, no self-love, become self-loved and become having motivation to do better. When people can start working to see the progress rather than to see a number on a piece of paper, things will change.
Right. I got one more question for you. So, for the people that's doing this, I know it's something that keeps you going every day, keeps you moving, something that keeps you pushing besides drugs. Because you don't wake up with the drugs, something that pushes you. It's something that pushes you to get there. It's something that keeps you walking. And it's something that you can say to somebody that can help them go on. Some people that's in the same situation that you is in, that keep you pushing. Is there any advice you can give them?
Don't get rid of all your morals. Don't get rid of all the things that once made you who you were before you became an addict and before you became homeless. Keep at least a few of those morals that you had prior. Because if once you get rid of all those morals, you'll never be that person in any way, shape, or form that you were before, and you'll become something that you no longer recognize. You may not realize that you don't recognize it, but at some point you will realize you don't recognize the person you are anymore.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks, man. What's say your name again?
Riot.
Riot. Thanks, Riot, for your perspective on
no problem.
And
appreciate
your story,
you, bro.
Somebody else